Hello everyone, welcome to Cybrosys Technologies. In today's video, we'll be discussing about how to add a Kanban view into a custom module University Education Management into the model student application. Right now, we can see that we have created the list view, and as we have added the pivot view and graph view in the creation of the views over here, you would be able to see that all those views will be added. So while you just need to manage with the views, here we have defined the views that to be added over there. So we have just added the view mode such as list, form, pivot and graph. Now I would like to add one more, which is the Kanban. So let me add it over here. So let's say Kanban is the one I just want to add. So once it's 10, I'll be just running this, and afterwards we need to load the changes into the database. So that I'm going to the apps, and from the apps I'll be updating my app. And here you can see once everything is loaded into the database, you can see that the module, under the student application, a new view will be added, which is the Kanban. So we have to add the Kanban view. We know the Kanban view is in the form of a card. So in order to do it, let's see whether it has added. Yes, the Kanban view is currently been added over here, and you can see that once you choose the Kanban view, it will be moving on to the into the form view. So here we need to add certain details. In order to add all those details, let's again dive into the pie chart. So what I'll be doing is I'll be moving over here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to just get every details from here, and let's move on, and let me click on paste it over here. And in this case, we are just going to create a Kanban view. So as we are just going to create a Kanban view, you can just set it over here as Kanban, and we just need to make further changes over here. As I just want to create the Kanban view, I'll be changing the record ID accordingly, and the name will be view.kanban over here. Okay, and it is applying for the model university, application.university. Till here we'll be considering. And what I'll be doing right now is that I just want to get the Kanban view, right? So I'll be changing the list into Kanban. So I'll be using it as Kanban, and I don't want to apply any string over here. That's the Kanban string. So let me just set it. So once it's done, you can see that I'm going to just run this, and once you run this, and let's see what are the changes that is going to take place in our database. For that, again, we just need to load everything into our database. For that, I'll be moving on to the upgrade over here, and here we need to see that whether it's been loaded and how it's going to affect the Kanban view. So we know a Kanban view is having a card, so we just need to define a card also. So currently we haven't defined that. Now upon moving on to the application into the Kanban view, you can see that something went wrong. It's because card is missing. Here we haven't added the card. So let's see how can we add the card. So once you add the card only, you would be able to manage with it. So in order to add the card, first what I'll be doing is I'll be adding a tag called template over here, and once it's done, we need to close this, and here I'm going to remove the field state from here, and rest of those are same which I'm going to provide, and I'm going to close it. Now we also just need to provide the card. In order to provide the card, I'll be using the another tag called T tag, and inside that I'll be using the attribute T name equal to card. So I'll be defining it over here, and once it's done, you just need to close this. So I'll be closing it over here. Okay, and afterwards we can just save, make changes over here. So again, let me use Control A and use Control Alt L, and later on you can just run this. Okay, So we can just rent this. And what I'll be doing is I'll be moving on to my module, and in the apps here you would be able to see that I'm going to choose the university education management, and let me upgrade it, and let's see whether the card is working or not, and whether we are getting the result when we just click on the Kanban view. So for that we must have a bit patience in order to load everything into the database. Yes, upon moving on to the admission application, you can see that we have the university application over here. Let me move on to the um, yeah, Kanban view, and you can see that all the details has been added over here. But this is not the proper way. We need to get the data, and I just want to add the image over here, the image field of the student. So let's see how can we do it. Again, let me move over here, and in this case here you can see that we have the application, and right after the name, I mean right after the application number, I'll be adding a field to set the image of the student. Okay, so let me choose Control A, Control Alt L, and let's fix all the issue. Okay, and let me fix all the issues from here, and afterwards you can just move on to here, and you can find the image field. Let me copy it. Okay, and let's set it, and let's move on to the uh yeah, university over here, and let me change the name of the field as image. And in this case, now what I'll be doing is I'll be setting uh, a div class over here. Okay, so if you just want to set a div class, you can just set it, and you can just manage with the widget. Okay, so once you provide the image over here, we just need to get the image, right? So if I'm not using the widget, what will happen is that I'll be getting the option to upload the image. So in this case I'll be using the avatar, so OE avatar. So if you just want to get it, you can simply search for the widget, use Control Shift F over here in order to search everything. So currently we are in Python. We just need to move into the XML views, and from here we can set it as image, or if you just want to get the details we have included under the Kanban, we can just use Control Shift F in order to search with the Kanban view. And here you can see that how it's given. So you can see under this we have the widget which been used. We just need to get this for, or let me set the widget as simply image, and let's see what we are going to get. So let me run it, and once it's 10 you can just move over here, and I just need to update that. So let's move on, and again let me click on upgrade, and here we go, that we'll be getting the result. We need to wait for a while. Yes. Once it's 10, you can move on to the university application. So from here, I'm going to choose the one over here. So the image is being added, but it's not in a proper way. So now, right now, what I'm going to do is I just need to get everything properly. So let's fix the UI issues over here. Okay. Now, to fix this issue, let's move on to the PyCharm. So from the PyCharm, what I'll be doing is, let me hide a few fields over here. Okay, and let's rearrange everything. So what I'll be doing is, I'm going to just comment this, not hide everything, just comment it. Okay, afterwards, what I'll be doing is, I'll be defining a class for the Kanban. So we can say that the class is O Kanban mobile. Okay, so once it's done, we can just save the changes that we have made, and let's see how it is going to affect the UI. So from here you can choose the apps, and from there again move on to the upgrade button, and we need to wait for a while in order to upgrade the module. So you would be able to see what changes is going to apply when we provide the Kanban class or Kanban mobile. Okay, so here under the university application, you would be able to see that we have the Kanban view, And you can see, yeah, now we are getting like this. So when we just hide those fields, everything has been I mean, when we just comment all those fields, it's back to the normal size, right? Now inside this field I'll be specifying the name and image. Okay, so let me move over here in the PyCharm and let me get the field such as the name and the image. Okay, so let me uncomment everything. So I'm going to get this, and after, right after the class, I'll be adding it. Okay, so what let's see what is going to happen over here, and let's use Control A, Control Alt L in order to upgrade everything, and I'm going to run it. Okay, so here let me upgrade the module. So let's wait for a while to find the change that is going to take place. And under the admission application, here we go with the Kanban, and nothing is taking place over here, right? Now let me again define the other uh, class. Okay, so here we have the template. So inside the template we have provided the T name card, and inside the T name we are just going to give a div class. So here I'm going to use a div class, and it is having the class as O Kanban record top. Okay, so the Kanban record will be in the top, and afterwards again I'll be using the uh, other class, div class, and here what I'll be doing is I'll be using a class for the image with a margin ending as 3. And here we are using two classes. One is the O Kanban image and the other one is with the margin 3. Okay, so let me just add it, and again let's set it. Now let's add the image tag. Okay, so here what I'll be doing is I'm going to use the tag image, I mean img t if record dot image dot row value. And afterwards what I'll be doing is I'll be using the T attribute src equal to Kanban image. Then we need to specify the model. So here we know the model is application university. Then we need to specify image, that's the name of the field. Then we'll be providing record dot id dot row value. Okay, and once it's done we'll be using the other class. So let me use the other class, which is O Kanban image fill left rounded. And later on, I'll be using alt equal to applicant. Now you can also specify the style over here. So let's say style equal to width 64 pixel. Now we need to get the height as also 64 pixel. Then we want to add the object fit cover. Okay, and let's close it. Okay, and yeah, let's use Control A, Control Alt L. Yes, everything is set, and let me run it. And before going into the UI, let me explain what I have given over here. So when you provide the class OCanban, yeah, here we have the class OCanban mobile. When you provide it, it is an Odoo CSS class that helps with the mobile style Kanban layout. For example, your university application might appear like student, student name, academic year, course. Each application becomes on one Kanban. And when you use the template over here, a template defines how each Kanban card should be constructed. Like for every application record, you can use this design. And when you just set the T name is equal to card, this defines the card template. T is the QWeb or Odoo templating tag. And this means that this is design of the one Kanban card. Afterwards, we have used the main card container with the div class Kanban record top. So it group element together. Here it is being used as a container for top selection of the Kanban card. Afterwards, we have just used the image container. So here you can see that again this container in Odoo CSS class related to the Kanban image and is a bootstrap spacing class that adds some margin on the right. Now we can say that this creates some image space between image and other content. Now later on I'll be using the other one as the image, the if record dot image row value. So this is important because this shows the element only if the condition is true. So this checks whether the current record has an image and this tells the Odoo where the image should come. So if you just set the TSRC Kanban image, the image should come inside the application university. That's the name of the model, and the field must be displayed. That's the image, and will be providing the record ID dot row value. Okay, so your model is probably like this, which is the application university, and afterwards we use the record dot ID row value. That is to give the ID of the current record. So Odoo basically uses the ID to find correct image. Now here we have the alt equal to applicant. So this is the alternative text for the image. If the image cannot be displayed, the browser can use applicant and it is useful for accessibility. Now you can find the class which is given as OCanban image fill left rounded. So this is the Odoo styling for the Kanban image that makes the image have the rounded corners, and you can also see the style, that's the size of the image, and this is CSS and it makes the image, and it means the image fills with 64 by 64 area while maintaining its appearance, cropping excess parts of the image. So the final image will be approximately 64 by 64. So once you rent this, let's see what we are going to get over here. Okay, so we just need to move into the apps, and we can move over here in the upgrade button, and let's see what is the result that we are going to get over here. So in very simple words, we can say that this code creates a Kanban view for the university application and displays the applicant's image on the Kanban card if the image is available. Okay, so I'm moving on to the application, and under the Kanban here, as the image is not there, you can see we are unable to do it. So let me add a picture from here. So right now we don't have the image. Let me add, I'm going to add simply an image of Cybrosys, and yeah, here, let me save it. Once it's done, still here it's not seeing, and we just need to see that the ctx Kanban image is not in a function, and we need to fix this issue. So here we know that we have many more to provide under the Kanban view. So let me move on to the Kanban view, and let's provide all other code, and afterwards only it will be working. Okay, so let me fix the issue. Now here you can see that I have given a code which is the div else class o Kanban image fill left, deflex align item center, justify content center rounded with a style, and T escape over here. Now let's explain the code. So the div T class, it means it shows this div when previous T if condition is false. So if the record has no image, the block shows the first letter of the name. Okay, and when we just move on to the classes, here you can find that we have the deflex. The deflex makes the div a flex container, and when you use the align item center, that centers the content vertically, and you can see the justify content center. So the centers the content horizontally, and rounds gives the div rounded corner. So here you will be able to see that, and we have the O Kanban image fill left. So an Odoo Kanban related styling class over here. So the letters will appear approximately in the center of the square. Now here we have the inline styling, which is the width being given over here. So the width is 64 pixel with the height 64 pixel, and background color brown as a background color over here. Okay, which is being shown over here. Now coming to the other one, we have the T escape, right? So this means this is one of the most important part, and this evaluate the expressions and safely displays its value. The expression is a ternary operation. You can see it is a ternary operation, and this means that if record name dot value exists, it takes the first character, otherwise display the question mark over here. Okay, and the Kanban view record represents the current Odoo record. So once it's done, we need to just provide all other details. Now when we just provide the details or fields into this only, we'll be getting the result. So what I'll be doing is I'm going to add different fields over here. Now here you can see that we have added those fields such as the class for adding the Kanban details, and we have just made it as strong class. The class has been given. We need to get the fields such as the name, the middle name, as well as the last name, and afterwards I'll be adding the other class as I just want to add the email. Now I just want to get the phone number, so for that I'll be adding those fields along with its class, and how I just need to appear in my UI. So you can see I have just given all the details with the TF record gender row value, and you can see we have just given different classes and everything. Now let's see how this is going to affect. So you can just run it over here, and what I'll be doing is I'll be moving on to my module, and let me move over here, and under the application you can see that I'm going to simply upgrade the module, and Once everything is done, it will be loaded into our database, and you can see that we'll be getting the result. Okay, so here what I'm gonna do is, under the admission we have the application. So inside the application we have the Kanban view. Yes, we are getting it. And if the image is not loaded, it will be showing as applicant over here. Okay, so the image is not taken into there. And you can see that if the image has not been added, it will be showing as a brown color which has been shown. And as we have provided certain details with the gender, the academic year, it will be showing not with the academic year under yeah, date of birth. You can see it over here. And as we just provide the email, let's say we are going to provide the email as well as the phone number, it will be added into the Kanban. And let's see whether it's been added. Yes, this is how we just manage. Now if you want to change the UI, you can just do it from your side. And that's all about the creation of a Kanban view in Odoo 19 for a custom module. And that's all for today. If you find this video informative, please do like, share and subscribe our channel. And what if I tell you, you could use Odoo right from your mobile? Yes, you can manage your sales, inventory, CRM or any of the Odoo application from your mobile by taking your business anytime, anywhere. To manage this, you can use Mobo. So to get the Mobo, download it from the Play Store or App Store in order to take your business anyway. So thank you for watching the video.